back to the FACETED DUALITY podcast. I am Amor Shanae.
And I'm Tanae. We're back again with our special guest, KK, aka K, aka Kayla,
aka Big K Money,
hey.
aka FACETED DUALITY twerker in the shorts. Coming soon, FACETED DUALITY shorts. FACETED DUALITY on the booty.
Yes. So today we wanted to talk about
minding our melanated own business.
Yep.
I'll be doing that.
Yeah, me too, for sure.
No, but for real. So today we want to talk about just the facets of being entrepreneurs, being Black in America, this capitalistic ass society. You know how we able to still make things shake and move and be successful, independently. So, we in order too. So I'm the newest full-time entrepreneur. And then how long has it been for you?
3 years.
3 years or more.
Almost 9 years.
What's it? So we got different levels of what's the word?
Entrepreneurs.
That's not the one I was looking for. Experience. Different levels of experience.
Different levels.
Yeah. So when did y'all first have the aspirations of being self-employed? Like, was it like I always want to be my own boss, or you just hit a wall one day?
So it's a little of both for me. I felt like I always wanted to be an entrepreneur and like have my own business, something that was my own. It just seemed enticing and seeing other people do it.
Mm-hmm.
But for the longest, I didn't know what that business was. Like, it was like finding something I was passionate for. That was kind of challenging, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But then during the pandemic, it became more of like, okay, I need to do this. I just wanted to have more flexibility and independence over like my day. Mm-hmm. And I had a small child at the time, so working the 9 to 5 wasn't working. At home, he was right there barking like a dog.
Not barking.
Like,
shout out to Big Kobe.
Did you just say Kobe was barking?
You know, Kobe was barking like a little puppy while I was on the phone with clients. So I'm like, I need to find something that I can work when it's feasible for me to work.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah,
that's what's it. I never wanted to work. Let's just put that out there. I never saw myself like having no job for real. I never wanted to be self-employed, like, and I think for me it was, I never really wanted to be in charge of other people. Like, that's not appealing to me, you know.
Yeah.
So certain avenues, I'm like, yeah, I'm never doing that. Like, I don't want to own no store. I don't want to own, you know, something that would basically put more work on me for very little return. But I knew I had to make money, you know. You got to. That's not really an option. And I knew I wanted to only work limited hours. So my whole life, my dad has only worked 3 days a week. And that was so inspiring. Because like, you got your whole life to do everything else. You only got to be at work for what? I think he worked like 20 hours a week.
Oh, he was a barber your whole.
Yep, he's been cutting hair like 30 years. You need to sit down. But yeah, and you know, I'm kind of following in his footsteps. I don't know that I'm gonna take it that far, but
yeah, for sure.
I'm able to be more flexible. That's like the number one thing.
Yeah, that's dope. For me, I always wanted to definitely live an independent life financially without working for someone. What that looks like has changed over time. It started off with just like singing. Like, I wanted to be a singer. I wanted to travel the world through music.
Mm-hmm.
So I always knew I didn't want to work at a traditional type of job. But it took for me to become a mom to really shift into working for myself, because I wanted more of the freedom of my time and schedule for my son. And switch jobs like crazy. I could not stay at one job longer than, the longest I had a job was 1 year, and that was when I was a manager. Like, I kept a job, but I kept getting different ones. And I started with like temp agencies where I would get like these little contractual assignments but the longest I kept one was a manager. I was a manager at Family Dollar. So I had the leadership aspect of something is always cool for me naturally to do, but I didn't want to do it in that kind of way. That's what I like what you said about not wanting to like be in charge of employees.
Mm-hmm.
I love just being in the beauty industry and having a salon and continuing to grow in those type of aspects because I can facilitate the facility, but they're all independent entrepreneurs to run their own business out of it. So, that's cool. That works great. But I've tapped into being an entrepreneur since I was a little girl. I started off doing nails for a minute. I used to make Christmas wreaths out of garbage bags.
Very creative.
It was
very creative.
With a hanger, you tie them, you cut the garbage bag. I was always creating a hustle, so I knew that it was gonna, I was gonna end up doing exactly what I'm doing now. It's been in me since I was a little girl.
Yeah. I used to have a couple hustles too. I used to sell little Kool-Aid mixed with sugar. Mind you, this is when I had went from being DPS to I had a little spurt that I went to Berkeley schools in 7th grade. So these kids had no idea that this was even a thing. They thought this was the best shit ever. But I invented some shit.
They was on your head for that Kool-Aid.
Great.
They was really seeing
it. So yeah, and I think over the years, I've always I've sold shit,
for sure.
done little things for money. I used to write papers for money.
Always
so I've always had a little hustle, but I just needed something to kind of somewhere to channel that. You know what I mean?
I guess what my first hustle was doing hair.
Oh. Yeah, mine too actually. But I always felt like I didn't want to do hair. I used to. I came up like you. You came up with your dad being a barber. I came up with my mom doing hair. My mom always had a salon setting in our basement. She was always doing everybody here in the neighborhood. My mom always there. She went to hair school. So I naturally just had a second hand. I just knew how to do hair, but I never wanted to do it professionally. And she used to be like, when I used to switch jobs so much, she's like, that's not stable. You need to do something stable. I don't get why you just want to do hair. And I was just like, I do not want to do hair. The type of hair she did was not the type of hair we do. I was always more gravitated to natural hair, braids, twists, and locks. And my mom never did none of that. And to me at that time, braiding took so long. And I was like, ain't no way. I'm about to be braiding people's hair. Look at me. I literally do all of that for a living. Yeah. So it was always in alignment.
So what do y'all think is some of the most important qualities of that makes you a successful entrepreneur?
I would say the faith in yourself and belief in your vision and being able to consistently follow through with that and show up for yourself for one, and create a system, commit to some time management, and not allowing outside opinions or lack of support from places you think you need this support to be something that discourages you or make you not do it, because your purpose and your vision and what you see for yourself as an entrepreneur is your own. Nobody else knows that but you. So I would say that's the first key component is really giving it the energy you need and believing in yourself and being consistent.
Sure. I think another big factor is just being determination and staying committed, because you don't have a boss saying you got to do this by this deadline, or there's no one over your shoulder keeping you at it. It's literally all on you. If you get up as an entrepreneur and you say, I ain't gonna do nothing today, you probably ain't gonna make no money tomorrow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a lot that you're the manager, the employee, HR, you're all the roles that a corporation would have in one. So it's all on you, and you just have to stick to it.
I think those are the key things that a lot of people have a fear in too. Thinking of, some people get hesitant that I've talked to, they feel that's used to traditional schedules of jobs and working. I hear them say the idea of all that seems overwhelming to them, or not stable, or nothing that they can depend on, because if they don't show up, bam, right? But it depends on the perspective of that.
I think those people should keep their jobs, to be honest. I think if you don't think you have enough discipline to do the things that you need to do, maybe you need to work 40 hours a week at your job and then like work 20 hours a week at your business, because you're gonna be messed up. Like you gotta get to the point where you can see it. Like even if you don't necessarily fully believe the vision, you gotta get to the point where you can see it, and then start, dialing back from your full-time gig. But I will say for me, like I'm a person, I really don't like being told what to do. So it's not doing the thing, it's you telling me to do it, what I was gonna go do anyway. So now I'm not gonna do it. And I struggle with that a lot at like every job that I've worked at, because I'm real big on like systems and stuff like that. So if you're a person that does not like being told what to do, maybe you should go find something that you can do independently, and just go live your best life.
Do it how you want to do it.
Yes, because jobs, like they'll have you doing some shit just because it's the policy, and it might not be the most efficient way to do it. I'm like, y'all, if you just listen, they don't care. So go do your own thing.
Yeah. My spirit just thrives off of feeling purposeful and feeling the value of being like, it's like at a job, it just was so draining, and you are easily replaced. You when you go through something, it's this whole ruling of like occurrences, and you did this many times, and you're putting basically your livelihood in people's hands never felt comfortable for me. I prefer it to be in my hands where I can control that, and I can create that to be as abundant as I want it to be, or not. Whatever I give it, it's gonna give me back. So I love that about being an entrepreneur.
Absolutely.
Yeah, in that life of freedom. I don't like having to go ask nobody, can I have this day off so I can go do that? Like,
and I get to give myself a raise when I feel like I just
okay, let me raise these prices.
Okay. Sorry, y'all. Retwist the extra $5.
Yeah, I love it. How do you balance work and personal life while running a business?
I don't. Next.
Well, I definitely do.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a husband and a son who's still young, so sometimes it is a little difficult. It's like some days something got get put on the back burner, and yeah, it's been a growing process just juggling the two, but I'm getting better at it. Like, and also just sticking firm to like, this is the time I set aside for this. I'm not going to change and now do this. Like, I honor
setting boundaries.
Family time is family time, and when I'm working, I'm fully giving my attention to that and try to, instead of trying to split the difference between the two.
Such a healthy balance to do that. For me, I'm very in my business and creatives, but when the space is for me to like date or do personal things, I make the time if I want to make the time. That's the perk of being working for myself, and I love to travel, so I pencil in my vacation times. I prioritize that a lot for myself to pour into me. But personal life and my business life, the business really come a lot first. Yeah, I'd be really busy in that, but I can create the time and balance.
I think the best advice I will give, I'm only speaking to people that are in my position, because I know if you have kids and family and shit like that, it's easier said than done. But I'm single and childless, so I try to make my personal life integrate with my business as much as possible. So I want to go hang out, we go do shit that is networking, you know what I mean, or market research, or you know what I mean, just doing stuff that I need to do anyways. But if I want to catch up with one of my friends, whatever, you come with me and we killing two birds in one stone. Or come pull up to the shop for a minute, we can kick it, we can talk. It's a good environment. But that's been the best way for me to find that balance, is through integration.
Yeah, integration been naturally happening with my relationships too, because all of my closest relationships are business owners and entrepreneurs. I don't even really have friends anymore that work a 9 to 5. I started noticing, so we all we flow like that. And then I have a son, but he's a teenager now, so he spends a lot of time. Me and his dad split the time, and he's 14. So when he was smaller, it was different. When I was, in a relationship, that was a different type of balance. But being in the space I'm in now, it has more freedom in it. Having a teenage son.
Yeah, I think I'm sure I'll get to that space too when Kobe gets older, but he's still young. We want to make sure we spend a lot of family time during these younger years. But as he get older, I'm sure it's going to come a point he don't want to even be bothered with me. Maybe I can work a little more.
Y'all see me and Jai, I'll be like, girl, I'm not picking him up this week. It's like, I love him. Shout out to Jai.
Jai's a teen author.
I love my baby boy. But I will say, when my son was younger, though, I chose to do hair out my living room. When I first built A More Natural Way, it was in my living room for like 4 years. I was building my clientele consistently, and Jai was little because I didn't want him to be a salon kid or have a mom who was always in the salon while he was that small. So once he got older, then I went ahead and started, working out of salons, and it worked out. He's never, my whole career of this, he barely been to the salons with me. Like every blue moon.
I was a shop kid.
Yeah, he was. I didn't want him to be that. I was like,
I wasn't doing shit. It wasn't when I was real young. So it was probably like 7 to 11, like those years. I wasn't doing shit at the shop that I wasn't doing nothing at home that I couldn't do at the shop. Like,
it works.
So I think that's something to think about too. Like if you do have kids that are in primary school, is that what it is? You got kids that's in primary school, try to do something that they can get involved with. Or like, let's say you got a store, put them in the break room. Chinese.
Put the kids to work. You can list them as employees on our taxes when they 7 and up. I definitely be trying to integrate my son with things, but
Chinese people
right now,
they be putting their kids in the closet.
Oh yeah, man, they be forced to work though.
They be forced to work, but it builds work ethic. Like that is amazing. Like, and I feel like it also gives kids like a certain sort of independence.
Yeah.
If you pay them, like
put them on some payroll. Give them some tips with it.
Little minimum wager. But what's this say? How do y'all stay motivated on your goals, even during difficult times?
Thinking of my why and my purpose and why I even started, and where I want what it looks like to me ahead. My why always helped my son keep me motivated. Yeah, because I know that he my only one, so he give me more purpose of living. Like I want to be that example for him, and continue to lead that way. So I would say Jai and my personal whys of like why I even started in the first place, what I see myself as, and I just keep going.
For me, it's about to be real simple. I look at all the bills I got.
Okay.
All the things I want to do in the future, all the trips I may want to take. All this requires money. Go get the money.
I'm an extremist, and I think like I be having to be real extreme with my like whatever I'm trying to get towards, so I can just hurry it up, and then I can go back to living my regular normal life. So like I purposely make shit harder than it needs to be so that it can be quicker. You know what I mean?
Get it all done up front.
Yeah, get it all done up front. So something that I could do comfortably in 6 months, I'd rather do it in 3 months so that I could go back to living how I want to live. So I don't know, a little more compromise up front.
Yeah,
that's a cool
for the long term. What were some of the biggest challenges you had at the beginning of your business, and how did you overcome them?
For me, starting out, when I decided I was doing hair, it was part time. I had a few clients, all from the internet, coming to my house, but I was really like nervous about building my clientele in the beginning.
What you mean?
Because I'm just like, what if people don't want to come get their hair done by me? And it was really just fear. Like I didn't even have like doubts that my skill would get better, and it has tremendously. But it was really just fear. And the more it actually helped me with that, the very first time I talked to her over the phone to call and inquire about renting space at the salon, I was telling her, I'm like, I'm kind of nervous. Like, what if I can't make the booth rent? People aren't booking me, blah, blah. And she basically had shut that shit down. She like, don't talk like that. Just go out, work out, blah blah. So thank you for that. That was really encouraging, and yeah, it was never an issue with me building clientele.
Yeah, I remember that too. I would affirm everything for you and be like, no, don't speak it.
I was
You give it the energy.
a little nervous at the beginning.
But that went away. I feel like that was brief.
Yeah.
Once we got a week or two in,
I was like, oh, I got this.
She hit the
I played that
running.
first blueprint right on time. Like, oh, that was easy.
Right. I'm like, when you look at it, it's like one head a week. I know covers what I got to do, and the rest all me. It makes it, you can see it a little differently. For me, it was challenges to overcome. I would say because I do so many things and aspire to do so many things. For me, it was more so choosing and balancing everything I'm gonna do and how I'm going to do that scheduling wise. I still am trying to. I've gotten better, but I would say the challenging thing for me was just trying to do so much at one time, and giving everything the energy that it needs, and having a showing up for each thing that I need to do accordingly to where something's not lacking or I'm not always lagging, falling behind. Like balancing that. I still look to get even better in that. With that, I think I've gotten better because I'm doing a whole lot at one time, and everything is definitely getting executed. So I guess I've accomplished that in a very better space. But I don't have any challenges that I faced when I started that I needed to overcome. I always been real like, let's get it. I got this.
I think my main thing was I don't like this word because it's not what it means. Perfectionism, like I struggle with perfectionism, but that's not what it is. I struggle with wanting things a certain way and not really having the tools to do that. So not necessarily with like doing hair because that's no, but with like Charged by the Sun and just wanting things to look a certain way or wanting a certain level of professionalism and like working with designers and stuff like that. Like I really struggle with sourcing things. I really struggle with fucking graphic design. Like I struggle with all of that stuff because I didn't know anybody that I didn't have no resources, you know what I mean? Until I found a group. I ended up finding like a Facebook group, Black Girls Craft, and they shared so many resources. When I feel like in other groups that I was in, people was being stingy about where they was getting stuff from. Like, exactly, why are you here? Like, you in the wrong community. But it's the politics doing business. So I would say finding the right people with the right information. I think once we launched the podcast, I already had like a good network of people that I know I can call, so and so because he do editing, or I know I can call, I know somebody do t-shirts, flyers. Like I have people to call now, so I don't feel like I'm doing everything on my own.
Yeah, the network of our community and people.
Definitely.
Keep everything within our community and people.
Yes.
That's dope. That's a true blessing. Gratitude.
So
I can think of a challenge though while you're seeking to for me first starting off, because I was still growing in a space of communication personally.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it challenged me at times the way other people communicated when I would start providing a customer service. I've always had a lot of customer service jobs, to where I've had like intense training on customer service, like the way the books go with like customer service. So that helped. But I guess I'm saying like having the patience needed with other people's communication styles and how people talk or ask questions or don't ask questions, like that was challenging at first to get used to, and it actually has been great. Fast forward, because it has helped my patience. It has helped me be able to communicate even better when people are more challenging to me in communication. That was
I have to remind myself a lot, that epiphany we had a couple weeks ago about how people just lack education. And that's like, I think that's where a lot of the communication barriers come from. Like people just be a little.
Yeah, because it really be little stuff that be like, what?
know that.
And it might make you get agitated because it's like everybody in our realm knows how to speak, knows how to articulate things that they want, and just it's not hard to communicate with people on an everyday basis. But you might be talking to somebody with like a 5th grade education, and like you kind of have to talk to them like they like they in the 5th grade.
I definitely be forgetting that because, like you said, my room of people are very, great communicators and articulate well and all that great stuff. So when I have those moments of people like that, it'd be like it takes me from here down here.
It's a kid.
Like, how the hell you don't know?
Yeah, I know.
I'm like, well, yeah, we remember we spoke about that 3 times, and so yeah.
Just gotta get them grace,
or
block them. Like I've had to.
It has happened.
I've fired a couple of my clients. Like I don't.
Because all business isn't good business.
Yeah. That's the perk of being an entrepreneur. You can see who you vibe with. Like it's your choice if you want to work. I gotta be a good fit for each other.
Thanks.
And that
ain't always a good fit.
And that whole slogan or saying the customer's always right is absolutely not correct. But how we respond to it and how professional we are is what matters to it. Like even when in spaces where they're not, they're not right on their end with how they may have went about something or communicated something. But I don't agree with that whole customer is always right thing at all.
I agree, but a lot of stuff don't be worth it. Like, and I'm speaking to people in the service industry right now. Because I try to treat every interaction like you might go write a review or you might go blast me on Facebook. So before it even gets to the point where like I feel like we in the back and forth, I'm not gonna be able to be on here. I'm so sorry.
Same.
I'm so sorry.
That's why I'm like all business ain't good business. Yeah. Like if the energy is automatically coming off negative, combative, not just a lot. Recommend that they go get service somewhere else to avoid even that whole energetic interaction, because I can guarantee you it's gonna get worse if you end up providing whatever they provide, because if that's who they are, that energy they having is who they gonna be, so they gonna keep giving you that experience. So it don't need to be worth it.
On a more positive note, how do y'all, I guess, build relationships and like rapport with y'all clients and maintain those relationships? Like, do you go out of your way to do it, or you think it's something that just kind of comes naturally?
It comes natural for me. I just make sure I remain servicing and dependable, and always solution based. I think from getting feedback from my clients too, they always tell me they just love my energy and just how positive I am. And my clients that always have been coming to me for years, I'm dependable. I try to figure out how to fit them in and just, give them the service they looking to give it to them every time. That's pretty much it. A natural relationship. I don't be fake or phony. I just give them who I really am with my highest intention involved, and it's been working out.
Yeah, I'd say building rapport definitely comes organically. Like when I ask my clients how's their day going, and after a couple visits, I might know their kids' names. Like I'm going to ask about it, and it's not just to try to be polite. Like I'm really interested. Like I appreciate my clients and I value them and want to kind of get to know them. And then maybe even like I've run into my clients at grocery stores and stuff, and it's not just like, oh, there go my hairstylist and my loctician. It's like, hey, Kayla, how you doing?
Really build their relationships.
Yeah, because I have some clients, serious clients that I would even say are like friends.
Ooh,
like I would go hang out with some of my clients.
I've been invited to a couple weddings and baby showers.
Yeah, I'm going to an anniversary party in a few months with one of my clients.
That's dope. Yeah, very organic and dope. I like, and then doing what we do, at least it's a very therapeutic, connecting type of position to be in anyway, because they're in our chair, we're in their head, and we talk and vibe and connect.
Clients do one of two things: they fall asleep or they tell you all their business.
Right, because
I don't know why I'm telling you all this.
Me neither.
It's the chair.
I don't know why neither.
And she'd be like, "Me neither." I'd be over there like, "Well, I know that's just the type of thing people do with me." I'd be ready to
Like,
like,
letting it rip.
yeah,
Man.
I'd be
Soon
ready
as
to
it sit down,
pour into them, give them what they
touching in
need.
here.
Yes,
They
it'd be
spill
like,
all the beans.
just let it out. I'd be doing wellness checks on some of my clients, like, "These just sending you some, making sure."
Tell me that crazy story.
Did your baby daddy get out yet?
How you feeling today?
For me, I think it's snacks. My clients be so excited. These free? Like,
Right, and when we
yes,
offer wine, they be like,
y'all
"Oh,
so hospitable."
Like,
Like,
that's a
yeah.
nice one.
It don't take much, y'all. Just be nice.
She's also for me, snacks.
Be nice and feed them.
Be nice, feed them, be on time,
Treat people how you want
and
to be
then
treated.
gas them a little bit. Like, their hair look good or whatever it is. Like, let's say you sell merch, whatever. That shit about to look good when they go put it on. Gas them up. Compliments. People love compliments, and like I realized a lot of people don't get compliments, which is bold. Like,
Dang, right? I was just like, that's crazy.
a lot of people don't be getting compliments. So I mean, they really go a long way. Be genuine. You got to find something that you genuinely do like.
Yeah, don't be out here lying on
Don't say you like their shoes and they got on some biscuits. Making a real
like
couple.
bringing the wallabies back.
I almost told this
Y'all
girl I
probably
liked
don't
her
know
hair
about
yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
You said what?
Wallabies. This is a shoe.
No.
I'll see you more on the monthly shoes.
I'm like, yeah.
No, because I had brought up Heelys a couple weeks ago. She didn't know what that was.
Heelys?
Exactly.
Heelys. Yeah, I never heard of that.
See?
It's a shoe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've seen people roll on the little back end.
On the heels.
Yes.
I didn't know they were called Heelys though, but I've seen them.
You was cool as hell if you had Heelys in school.
No, you wasn't.
Yes, you was.
Not in my school, you wasn't.
She
went to Berkeley. So they was cool.
He was cool at the Berkeley school with the Heelys wheels.
Not at the all-black school.
Could you add a wheel on any shoe? Like if you have some J's, you can make them like J.
No, it's like you pop a little button, and then they was regular shoes, but they had wheels.
It's a built-in wheel. It has to be
that sounds
engineered.
So dangerous. People had to just be falling.
I mean, if you ain't know how to skate, if you clump, like I wouldn't buy K-Note Heelys.
I wouldn't wear none.
Cause she sure would be rolling and just tripping
right into stuff.
So, do y'all have any last advice for anybody that was thinking about starting their own business? Any encouraging or discouraging words?
Any discouraging words?
Be real, like.
Okay. I would say plan first. Have a plan, a vision, write it down. And releasing all things that don't serve your highest good applies with business too, because when you got like different relationships in your life and things going on, it can really put some staggering energy on what you're trying to do in your goals. So like just really get focused and get in a space of like really committing to your vision and letting go of things that don't complement that's around you. That would be mine.
Okay.
I'd say make sure you do your research.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever field you're going into, you'll want to know the ins and outs. You'll want to know if it's like what your competitors are charging or doing. Like it's just a lot of things that you don't initially think about up front, and then you get to doing the research. Like, oh, I need to know about this and that. So before you dive into something, you want to make sure you'll be fully committed in the long run. So their research up front is going to set you up for success.
Yeah. And I think I would just say, don't quit your day job unless somebody else pays your bills. Then go for it.
Say it again.
Yo, look. Don't quit your day job unless somebody else pays your bills. Like you pay your own bills, yeah. That's what I'm saying. I mean, or anything. A real daddy, like.
I know, I'm just joking. Yeah, that's how I was. I went part-time, and as I was like slowly building my client, and then it got to a point where I was like, all right, I don't need that, and then I went like full out with my business. But
or like if you have a 6-month emergency fund, which I know most people don't have, so that's why I said because you can have a great first month. Like I did really well my first month after I quit my job, but it was a fluke. You know what I mean? Like that don't always happen.
Yeah,
I could have been, but I also have it.
Depending on what the business is. Some businesses are more lucrative up front, and some you have to invest a lot of money before you see a return. Yeah, it really depends on the business.
Because I went into doing hair full time, and the way it went, it was like I basically was at a corporation job, and I was fired for no reason suddenly.
Mm-hmm.
So I made a choice. Am I going to get another job, or am I going to pour all my energy into this? And I was getting unemployment, I remember. And I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to focus on these 3 months to build my clientele with this unemployment and to subsidize my, make my income balance out. And it just grew from there. So I never got another job after that. I said I didn't want to. I said that's going to make me still go in this cycle. Right. So I'm going to just put all my energy into this. And it's just been doing great ever since. And I added other streams of things with my incomes and businesses too, to have some type of other flow coming in the space of not only just doing hair.
And if something's slow, you still get income from this stream or from that stream.
Because multiple streams of income is definitely the thing to do, to aim for, or to see other ways you can make passive incomes along with things. Because ultimately, we don't want to. Well, I can speak for me. Ultimately, I don't want to continue to do something as laboring that takes so much time to complete and do to make the money. So yeah, but gotta start somewhere. I just was the one that was like, I ain't working, and I'm about to just do this. So, yeah. Any more last words, ladies? Reminding your own melanated own business.
So literally mind your own business sometimes.
Yeah, don't be so. Yeah, that for sure. Literally,
stay focused
on
what you got going on.
Goodness.
Start worrying about other stuff.
Don't compare yourself to everybody in a negative way. If you want to see some type of comparison, I would say find the inspiration in how you can learn. But not to be a what is that when people try to compete or be better than or mock people in a negative notion way. Like just learn from it, but don't be in a space of comparing where you're at and what your business looks like in comparison to where it's
and letting it get you down because you're not where they are.
Yeah, because everybody's journey different.
At our own lane.
Yeah. And don't think one more thing. And don't feel like your idea, if it's something someone's already doing, or you feel like it's already a lot of people doing that. I hear a lot of people say that, like, I don't want to do that because everybody's doing that. Your energy, what you provide, your circle, your network, your following, your path is totally different than the next 10 people that offer that same thing or that idea. You still can have a successful business doing the same thing. We got all these different restaurants selling the same foods. All these different franchises on every other corner, and it's not taking money out of no door pocket. Still go for it, even if you feel like it's something that's not a game changer that a lot of people are doing. If that's what your heart is at to do, just do it.
But also do your research.
For sure.
In that aspect too. I don't know. I've just seen people make some very questionable business decisions and put themselves in not the best predicament because they did feel like that. Like, well, I'm gonna be the best hot dog stand ever, and like it's 3 hot dog stands around the corner, bro. Like you know what I mean. So you have to be mindful of that. So don't have tunnel vision so much that you're not paying attention to the world that's evolving around you. That's all I'll say to that.
Agreed.
But I think that's all. Keep minding your business, keep making your money.
Peace and love.
Peace.